Welcome to the 71st episode of I Wrote This News. Today is Friday, March 18, 2022. Never mind that throbbing in your head. Check out this news. Story number 1, I'd happily pay you never for some borscht today. Russia is threatening to pay foreign debts in rubles after some of Moscow's top banks were sanctioned in response to the country's invasion of Ukraine. The Russian government is scheduled to pay $117 million on Wednesday for a pair of its dollar-denominated bonds, according to Reuters. A number of Moscow's top banks have been sanctioned as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Last month, the Treasury Department banned financial dealings with the Bank of Russia and the Russian Foreign Investment Fund, and the White House announced that the U.S. and its allies would oust certain Russian banks from the SWIFT international banking system. If the payments cannot go through, the finance ministry said it would repay Eurobonds in rubles, according to Reuters, which has plummeted to historic lows since Russia's invasion. If that doesn't work, they'll try paying with turnips. And if that doesn't work, maybe Eric Trump can get that virtual bank of his buddy to cough up a loan. Story number 2, Russia tells journalists that's a nyet. Marina Ovsyannikova, a Russian state television journalist who protested the invasion of Ukraine during a live news broadcast, was found guilty Tuesday of organizing a, quote, unauthorized public event. Taking a courageous stance against Russian President Vladimir Putin and his government, Ovsyannikova ran onto the set of the evening news with a poster that read, "Stop the war. Don't believe the propaganda. They're lying to you here. Stop the war." The Kremlin on Tuesday described Ovsyanikova's actions as hooliganism, a criminal offense in Russia. A district court in Moscow said in a statement that Ovsyannikova had been found guilty of an administrative offense and will have to pay a fine. Interestingly, the offense of which she was convicted wasn't her impromptu appearance on the news set, but instead related to a video she had earlier posted online encouraging people to protest Russia's actions in Ukraine. Pavel Chikov, the head of Agora International Human Rights Group, noted, quote, "There are still risks that a criminal case will be opened against Ovsyannikova, but the chances of that have sharply decreased after the fine that she received today. No case has been opened yet against her performance, and the prosecutor's office might still decide to do so. But the fact that she has already received a quick punishment indicates that a political decision has been made not to persecute her further." Ovsyannikova was fined 30,000 rubles, or about $275. You know you have a problem with your currency when it takes 100 of yours to equal one of theirs. Some analysts expect that given Russia's rising economic woes due to stiff financial sanctions imposed by the West, the value of the ruble will drop even further. As we reported earlier, some sanctioned Russian banks have threatened to make interest payments they owe in rubles instead of dollars. Creditors view that move as essentially defaulting on those loans. At any rate, and probably a worse one for the ruble, if Ovsyannikova can wait another week or two to pay her fine, she might be able to pay off her fine with pocket change. March 18th is the 77th day of the year on the Gregorian calendar. 288 days remain until the end of the year. Now it's time for On This Date in History. On this date in 37, Roman Senate annuls Tiberius' will and proclaims Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus emperor. GJCAG is also known as Little Boots or Caligula. Everything was cool for about the first 6 months of his reign, and then things went a little sideways. Among other things, the dude led to what can generously be referred to as an erotic historical drama, also known as dressed-up porn, with Malcolm McDowell in the title role, alongside Teresa Ann Savoy, Helen Mirren, Peter O'Toole, John Steiner, and John Gielgud. Crazy. 1834, 6 farm laborers from Talpuddle in Dorset, England are sentenced to be transported to Australia for forming a trade union. 1898, Phoebe, a satellite of Saturn, becomes first to be discovered with photographs, taken in August 1898, by William Henry Pickering. 1938, Mexico creates Pemex by expropriating all foreign-owned oil reserves and facilities. 1965, cosmonaut Alexei Leonov, leaving his spacecraft Voskhod 2 for 12 minutes, becomes the first person to walk in space. 1968, gold standard, the U.S. Congress repeals the requirement for a gold reserve to back U.S. currency. 1990, in the largest art theft in U.S. history, 12 paintings, collectively worth around $500 million, are stolen from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. Celebrating birthdays today are political commentator Michael Reagan, actor Brad Dourif, scientist Linda Partridge, ice creamer Ben Cohen, satirist Will Durst, director Luc Besson, singer Irene Cara, actress Vanessa Williams, rapper Queen Latifah, economist Kitty Usher, comedian Dane Cook, politician and guy whose name sounds like something out of a sequel of Dune, Ryan C. Priebus, Olympic swimmer Brooke Hansen, musician Adam Levine, race car driver Anna Beatrice, Olympic swimmer Rebecca Soni, and composer John Kander, he turns 95 today. Happy birthday to all of them, and if your birthday is today, a very happy birthday to you as well. By the way, if you or someone you know is having a birthday and would like us to announce it on the show, leave us a voice message or send an email. The links are in the show notes. Today's news was brought to us by CNN, The Guardian, and the website that will never impose an administrative fine for saying what you think, Wikipedia. If you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard today, or if you have a suggestion, please send us a note at IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com. That email address one more time is IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com.
One more thing, if this podcast sounds a little funny, that's because it's also an experiment. All of the vocals were generated using AI technology. Hopefully the show will sound different and better as the tech improves and as we improve at using it. I'm Bob Neese, hoping you have an amazing day. We'll get together again soon.